Hi there, I'm Richard and welcome to Burning Spears. Today I'm going to be making Chakalaka. Chakalaka, a South African favorite, a sort of salsa, a relish that is extremely popular in South Africa, and in my books, one of the best salsas, relishes, or that genre that you can have on the planet, especially with barbecued meats. It's great. It comprises of a sort of oily vegetable base that's got a slight curry flavor, spicy. You get various levels of spiciness, obviously, and typically I like mine pretty spicy. So this recipe is aimed at a spicy chakalaka, but I will include how to lessen that somewhat for those of you out there who do not enjoy a supercharged dish. So, Coup, Chakalaka, you get various makes in South Africa, but Coup have been sort of like the long-standing tinned company in South Africa for a very, very long time. Certainly as far back as I can remember. Nowadays, there's quite a bit more. But for me, it's my go-to and my benchmark. So when I lived in the Cayman Islands for a year, a lot of South Africans in the Caymans, but whereas you can get things like Savannah in the supermarkets, you can't get a lot of South African things. And one of the things I was missing was Chakalaka. So I made my own. I did some research and I made my own. And I think I came up with a pretty good recipe. And I hope that it compares. So today I'll compare it. Now, in the Cayman Islands, I only had my memory to work from. So we'll see how close it is, and we'll see which is better. For me, it's going to be hard to beat that, but let's see. So I'll go into prepping, and I'm not going to do a long, lengthy thing on the ingredients because you can see there's quite a few, but you'll just see them get added. So I'm going to prep the veg and start the process. So stick around. This is going to be great, and I'm going to tie this video to a video that I'll be doing later. For my famous Chakalaka chicken. Great braai chicken recipe, barbecue, grilled chicken. So yeah, let's get on with it. So I'm going to prep 2 onions, 2 green peppers, 5 carrots, some cabbage. Now I normally substitute cabbage with peppers. I normally add some yellow and red for color. But I'm aligning myself closer to the Coup recipe, which has cabbage in and not this. I've got some fresh tomatoes and 2 green chillies. Unfortunately, I've only got those ones. My ones in my garden aren't ripe, so I will be using those. That's what I'm going to prep. Okay, some extra quick information. So traditionally, baked beans aren't part of the Knorr range and stuff like that. You can buy it in South Africa, Chakalaka with beans. You could use any beans. I just like it because baked beans are cool. And I have taken 2 shortcuts today because it's hot. I need to drink beer. I need to get the fire going, some chicken sizzling away. So I've got garlic paste and ginger paste. Now, normally I'm an advocate for fresh always, but today is one of those times. Summer's back. I need to enjoy it. And I'm sure you're tired of looking at my clumsy knife skills. Then the curry powder I'm using, it might be in a hot curry powder container. Now, when you be wanting to use a mild curry powder for this and increase the heat with other items. So I'm looking for sort of yellow curry powder, sort of your traditional run-of-the-mill commercial stuff. Now I've got a street cred, so I can't actually go into a shop and be seen walking out of there with a mild curry powder container. It's just wouldn't be right. So I take my South African curry powder, which is a hot one. I add some turmeric and some more garam masala to it to tone down the heat and to give a little bit more of a yellow color. I will be getting my reds from here to produce a lovely, vibrant color sauce for all of this. Then a lot of you might be a little bit shocked at the amount of oil that I've got there. I've got 160 ml of vegetable oil. For me, it's got to be vegetable oil. Actually, I think it's 140 looking at that. I'll top that up. A lot of oil, a lot of great things in life are fatty and oily. It's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So I put a lot of oil in. You'll see when I do the reveal on the Coup one later, it is an oily one. So you want to get that oil. You don't use olive oil for this. You want to be tempering that oil, getting the spices tempered and drawing that spice and that color out of a lot of those spices so that the oil goes that sort of light orange color like a chili oil. So that's what you want to achieve there. All the rest of the stuff I'll go through as I add it. But yeah, time to get cooking. So stick around. Okay, so medium, high heat of oil. Traditionally, we're going to start off with the onions. Alright, so the onions are just starting to go translucent a little bit. Just a reminder that the heat is a medium to medium high heat. I'm erring on more towards a medium. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Optionally, to lift the heat, I've got cayenne or chili powder here. I like things spicy, so I'm going to go a level tablespoon of that for extra color. Stuck in the bottle. Bit of turmeric. Sort of like 1 level-ish teaspoon. So you want to make sure you don't burn your spices, and you want to make sure that the oil has taken on that color and your spices have had a chance to temper and cook down a bit. I can see that oil is nice and orange, so I'm pretty happy with that. So then I'm going to add, that's probably about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And we just let that cook down for a little bit. And ginger paste. Three teaspoons. Garlic paste. 3 teaspoons. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. The cabbage has had time to soften a bit. The green peppers have had time to cook. You'll smell the change. It goes from a less greeny sort of raw vegetable smell to something more smoother and sweeter. 1 teaspoon of paprika, smoked or normal sweet. Teaspoon of white pepper. Okay, fairly critical step. I've been stirring for about 5 minutes. The carrots are now glossy, they're oily, and there's a bit of oil coming in the bottom, coming off the veg. Carrots are soft, so you want to get to that stage before you add the tomatoes. So I added the salt, as you saw, 2 teaspoons, and then I have cooked it for about another 5 minutes and let the salt draw out any moisture or more moisture from the veg. And then we go in with the tin of tomatoes. So it's been a couple of minutes. We're still quite dry here, but we've still got the baked beans to add. I'm going to put it on a lower heat. 2 teaspoons of vegetable or chicken stock or bouillon. 2 teaspoons of thyme. Right, we've had another 5 minutes and the tomatoes are all soft, they've broken down. The oil's just starting to cook out. I'm happy with that. Now you're going to check for depth and your first seasoning check. So basically I'm looking for how good the flavor is and how salty it is. I'm quite happy with that. The curry powder is a little disappointing in there. That particular brand that I mixed with stuff probably needed to use another 50% as much. But the spices there, the level of salt is good for now. So if you were to want to add some punch to this, the only thing you should really use in your arsenal is the cayenne, because it doesn't need too much cooking off. That's if you need more heat. A little bit of salt if it's bland. And also the bouillon or the stock powder, that can add some depth for you if it's tasting a bit bland. But following that recipe, basically you should have a pretty good result. You know, there's many things that come into play. It's like, what was the flavor of the tomatoes? How much moisture did they have in them, etc., etc. So there's a lot of things going on that can require you to make these adjustments. But I'm adding the baked beans in now because I don't want to overcook the things. They just add a little bit of body. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. So now you can do your final season check. Because of course the baked beans addition will have changed all of that. Because of the baked beans, I don't need to add sugar. There's no bitterness there. So that's a good sign. Add 1 more tablespoon of the bouillon. Then finish it off with 1 garlic paste, 1 ginger paste. That's going to give those fresh flavors to the end. They're not going to cook in too much. Like when I first added them, they're still fried out and all that sort of thing. Consistency, gloss everywhere. I must admit, not the oiliest one I've cooked. It's pretty good. And that's exactly what you're aiming for. Just spot on. So I'm going to let that cook for another 2 minutes. And then off it comes. Okay, now we're going to compare the two. Okay, so looks wise, the tin stuff, great long bits of carrot. The green pepper is very fine. I can see some chili pips in, which didn't think I'd see. Some bits of red chili. Great consistency, more oily than mine. Surprise, surprise. I thought I'd got that now. But also it's separated slightly, but definitely more liquid. I should have added a bit of water to mine just to get that up a bit. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, less oily, less liquidy, so a bit drier. The green peppers are prominent. Cabbage is really fine in here, and onions are real fine diced. They're not like mine. To be honest with you, spicier than mine, I think. The curry flavour is better. Quite salty, and for me, that's saying something. But very vegetably. Almost a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. Been looking forward to doing this comparison, actually. Okay, mine is sweeter from the baked beans. Curry is actually there now. Now I taste it. It's got some nice heat, actually. Sorry, guys. I had a bit of chili in the back of my throat, I think. So I had to get something to wash it down with. I think mine has the edge, guys. I know I'm biased. But this was a hero in my book, my whole life. I think there with a bit of quality curry powder and a little bit more liquid, I think I would have stormed past that, I think. However, I'm going to cook some of my homemade venison boerewors and a nice ribeye steak. I'm going to fry them quickly and test this on food, because it's not meant to be eaten by its own, and that's how you really have to test it. And they're probably going to be much of a muchness. So, well happy with what I've done. And love Coup, man. Still love Coup. Right, taste test, cheers. Let me get in here before the flies do. Okay, on a little piece of steak, the tin version. Homemade. Both are excellent. You don't get that back on the back of your mouth bitterness when the tinned one is eaten with something. Sorry guys, I don't know if I can judge this, because the good taste of my homemade venison wors is just ringing through. Stuff's killer. You know what? I'll take either. Amazing. Beautiful stuff. I'm so happy to confirm how pretty good mine is compared to the original as such. I'm now tasting them in comparison. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time and has not disappointed. Really, really good. So if you can't get the tin stuff, make it. You will not be sorry. Normally eaten on you can have a boerewors roll with this. It's great with chicken, great with pork, great with veggies. Normally eaten, I normally love it with pap, like a stiff polenta made out of maize meal that South Africans love so much. Off the carbs. I gotta watch this beautiful figure, you know. So none of that today, but this was just literally about this. So great stuff. I'm so happy. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please like these videos. Very important. And what can I say? That's it.